Despite the Lakers making the Western Conference Finals during Darvin Ham's tenure, his stay in Los Angeles was still largely regrettable for a lot of people. But you have to give Ham some props here. Darvin Ham was an assistant in Milwaukee, but he was never a head coach at the NBA level, which means that Ham was a first-time head coach in the NBA when he came into one of the highest pressure situations in the league. Although when Ham arrived in LA, the Lakers did have Anthony Davis and LeBron James, which on paper would be a dream scenario for any coach, they also had the Russell Westbrook situation, a lot of politics, a lot of pressure, and a lot of expectations.
We know in this room what we can be. And we just got to keep stacking, keep building, keep doing things the right way. Being together, being competitive, being aggressive. Let's keep this going.
Let's get greedy.
Let's get real greedy, man. Let's get real greedy.
Let's get greedy, man.
We got on
three. Man.
Keep having fun, bro.
Yes, sir.
You happy for the next man. Keep having fun, bro.
Yes,
Win, lose, or draw, have fun. Just keep having fun, bro.
With Ham, the Lakers were like that really bad reality show that you just can't turn off. Ham took a lot of blame for the way that things went down in Los Angeles, and perhaps rightfully so. But was it really all his fault? Hey, I'm just relaying information here, so don't get mad. For their first 21 games as the Lakers head coach, Darvin Ham and JJ Redick would win the exact same amount of games. That's sort of eerie, right? But nevertheless, we're only about 25 games into the season, and it's evident that major change is needed in Los Angeles yet again, with the Lakers having yet another stretch of really bad basketball. But guys, be better than the Lakers, and if you are new, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications as we are closing in on 300,000 subscribers. Now, a word from today's sponsor. Thanks to Underdog, I was more invested than usual in that Celtics vs Bucks game and able to win $30 in the process. Underdog is the best way to play daily fantasy, which makes it my favorite way to play daily fantasy. With Underdog, you just have to pick higher or lower on your favorite players' projections. Do this 2 to 8 times, then track their performances on the app, or simply wait for the results. Or, if you're like me, you can enjoy the games live. I've been having a blast submitting lineups for as little as $1 and then tracking my progress live. Now when you guys click the link in the description to sign up for Underdog, make sure that you use my code COOP, because with code COOP, you can get up to $1,000 in bonus cash along with a free pick. And it's also a great way to support the channel. Thank you, Underdog, for the sponsor. Me saying that the Lakers were having yet another stretch of bad basketball was honestly just me putting things nicely. The Lakers recently dropped 3 straight games and were just 2-7 in their last 9 games. The Lakers haven't just looked bad, they've looked terrible. Their game against the Hawks was a heartbreaker where LeBron and AD gave it their all and still came up short. Against the Hawks, LeBron James and Anthony Davis would combine for 77 points. They would become the first duo to each have a 35-point double-double since Kobe and Shaq did it all the way back in 2000. When your stars do something like this, you generally want to win that game. The Lakers are somehow so bad that they just didn't. Losing to the Hawks was bad, but at least the Lakers were in this game until the very end and had multiple chances to close the deal. Those 2 games that they had before losing to the Hawks, those games told me everything that I needed to know about this team. They'd lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves 109-80, and then to the Miami Heat 134-93. They'd lose these 2 games by a combined 70 points, and with the effort that they displayed, they should be grateful that a combined 70 points is all that they lost these 2 games by. And that might sound harsh, but I'm not exactly sure that I've seen a team play with less effort this season. On offense, I've seen a lot of possessions just like this one where there's hardly any movement and it seems like nobody wants the ball. This is probably a good time to bring up that out of players currently averaging more than 34 minutes per game, that nobody has moved less than the Lakers stars. No wonder that JJ Redick is calling for more body and ball movement on offense. The Lakers defense has been disastrous also. They really don't like to move on defense. On defense, I've seen a lot of possessions like this one where the team just doesn't have any fight. The tape doesn't lie. Look at all of this standing around. It's like the Lakers actually wanted Duncan Robinson to have a layup here. Instead, something feels off to Duncan, so the Heat end up working it around the perimeter, to the dismay of the Lakers, who have to exert more effort and sort of act like they care. The result, a wide open knockdown 3 for Tyler Hero, who torched them in the third quarter of this game, outscoring their entire team. I understand JJ Redick crashing out on that Lakers bench more and more every day, because I think that I'd do the same thing in his situation. But does any of this come as a surprise when JJ Redick is already saying things like he really doesn't feel like the Lakers are together as a group, and that he's already having to meet with certain players individually to keep this group from splintering further? After that ugly loss to Miami, JJ would call for some ownership from his players. To quote JJ, "Not sure what was lost in translation, but there has to be some ownership on the court. I'll take all the ownership in the world. This is my team and I lead it. I'm embarrassed, but I can't physically get us organized. I can't physically be into the basketball. I can't physically talk and call out reds, and physically call our coverages. And by the way, I'm not blaming the players. I own this, but gonna need some ownership on the court as well. There's not a sense from me that we're together right now, and that's what we say in the huddle. But it doesn't feel that way. We're in a tough stretch. We're all trying to find it." I feel so bad for JJ. This man is fighting for his life already in what is a tough situation. There's no way that this is what he expected when he left the Mind the Game podcast and ESPN. Right now, the Lakers are a broken team. A lot of people say that this Franz Wagner shot right here is the one that broke the Lakers, but that's not the case, as it was only a matter of time before their true issues came to light. The Lakers are a mediocre roster that is loaded with one-way players and lacks overall creators and threats. Don't underestimate what just missing Austin Reeves does to this team, which says a lot more about this team than it does about Austin Reeves, who is actually a great player. Hilariously enough, even as mediocre as this roster is, when LeBron James or Anthony Davis are at the top of their game, they can have this team looking like a completely different one. The only problem here is that Anthony Davis has availability issues and also a tendency to disappear, and then LeBron James is freaking closing in on 40. I have to agree with James Worthy, who basically said that you can't ask an old LeBron James to carry you every single night. Despite the monstrous performances like the one in Atlanta that you know that he is still capable of, the man is still almost 40 years old. He's slowing down. There's zero chance that he's going to be able to be Miami Bron on both ends of the floor every single night. This sort of regression is only natural, and one that the Lakers definitely should have been prepared for. Instead of preparing for something like this, the Lakers have just kind of been chilling with their mediocrity. Maybe Pelinka has come to terms with the Lakers' current ceiling of this LeBron James and Anthony Davis duo alongside the roster that he's built himself, and just doesn't want to dig himself a deeper hole. If this is the case, then the Lakers need a new GM/VP ASAP, because various teams across the league have made moves that the Lakers could have used. Teams like the Mavericks, Clippers, Suns, and Warriors all quietly went to work this offseason, while the Lakers essentially did nothing. Pelinka's made it seem like he's been trying, saying that you can't buy a house that's not for sale at last year's trade deadline, but if they stop selling houses, then again, tell me why various teams across the league have improved their rosters while not having to mortgage their future. Seeing some of the rumors out there that we'll discuss on this channel very soon, I can still say that there's some hope out there for this team to come through and make major changes. My question to you guys is, how comfortable are you with Rob Pelinka facilitating those changes? Guys, what trades could Pelinka make right now that would greatly improve this roster? Also, what trades could he make right now that would greatly improve your perspective of him? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyways guys, there's some more going on in the basketball world that I need to be covering, so clicking the video on the screen right now and using code COOP for Underdog are both great ways to support this channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.